facts. The facts. Mad Men. Man versus woman. Mad
Well,
Men.
I enjoyed it.
I believe the creation of it is what I enjoyed the most. The fact that Mad Men was invented in 2005 is not really true. I think it was invented in 2001 by AMC. Does everybody know what AMC stands for?
No.
American Movie
Classic.
Classics.
Classic. Oh, have some more wine.
Yeah. So the fact that Mad Men.
All I was saying about Mad Men was that I think that Don Draper's character is kind of the supreme. I've been thinking about it a lot because of my dad, and my dad was raised in that era, and he was Don Draper's sort of the archetypal 50s man, down to the Clark Kent dark hair and the light skin and the light eyes. Superman was kind of the
but
ideal.
isn't that from a woman's point of view? Isn't Superman always seen as
No, are you kidding me?
He's one of us. Oh, like nobody actually sees the actual power of Don Draper in this movie, in this television.
Oh, I don't think so. I think he's extremely powerful.
So he's just always on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, no one ever catches him, no one ever catches him slipping. He's like, because he's constantly got this protective force field around him, which is why the whole advertising thing is so amazing, because he is a creator of images in his work, but he's also this imaginative in his life. Yes, and at the end, those two things are informing each other and conflicting, and the paint is peeling to the point where he can't hold the illusion together anymore, and that's what's amazing about that sort of 50s playboy
superhero. He's like a 50s into 60s
post-war archetypal male. He's fought in the war, and he's confident, and he's taking care of his family, and this is what he does for a living,
Does he have a choice, or do you think that the character is pushed so much by society that that's how he makes a family operate at a high level?
And he's simultaneously conscious of that, and the manipulator of those images and ideas, and
because you do get a sense that he is warped in the head a little bit. You do get a flash factor, and you do get a psychotropic loss of memory as his character, where he flashes on and off different years.
Psychotropic loss?
Yeah, he obviously, Birdie is going through therapy and experiences her memories backwards in a calm setting. He experiences it through work. He always has some connection that takes him backwards, and not always.
He can't hold the illusion together, but he doesn't, he doesn't talk to his coworker about his past. He doesn't talk to his family about his past, and then slowly it starts to eke in, and that final scene in the first season is so momentous because he's literally projecting images of his past up onto the screen for everyone to see. It's like it's kind of the final straw of him letting go in a way.
So he is basically a disintegrating superhero who has he doesn't know how to escape his own he wants to be a normal dad. I mean, he really doesn't care about work. He's just really good at it. That's kind of a curse for him. He's overly super.
Oh, he is entirely cynical. That's what I was trying to say before you so rudely cut me off. That he is simultaneously conscious of the bullshit, basically, that he's propagating, and that's why he's so good at it.
Do you think that's why he drinks?
He is also injured. Oh my God, drinking it, they have this conversation on every single episode about, like, how early is it? Well, is it early enough to acceptably drink?
Yeah.
Like, it's...
But that's why I mentioned him, and he wants to become a family man again. Like, everyone in his office really wants to destroy themselves for their creative process. He seems unwilling to exploit his own talents and really wouldn't mind throwing it away, and he is kind of cajoled into his lifestyle.
Really?
I don't see him stimulating any of the crazy adventures that Don Draper has. Like, it just seems his charm, his persona is that, and his is quite the ineffectual persona. It's the surrounding of the male persona in the office that heightens him, because they see him as somebody that's above that.
Yeah, he's like a god in that office.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I quite agree with that.
He's almost like an incredible, like a suppressed superhero.
Well, in a way. And conversation late in when he's being courted by the sort of rivaling agency. There's a great conversation actually where he says, "This is my last move in this place. I'm going to do something else." Like you can see that he's kind of hating it, but you're right. He is good at it and he understands it.
At one point, we're talking about seasons 1, 2, and 3. At one point,
we're not.
Some of us are. I think there's a point in season 2 where he really knows how little of his own belief system he trusts, mostly based on religion and institution of marriage. And when you're an advertising exec, you get thrown baseballs from everywhere on the field. You have no idea. And some of the clients that come in season 2, I think you'll find, change his ideas, even on religion, just whimsically, because when you are trapped in one thing that you do really well, you often, if you're Don Draper, pour yourself into a woman.
Right.
And he finds religion in women, that I would say. But you'll see some interesting twists in season 2.
I'm excited about that.
I think that, I'm just going to talk about season 3 for a second, and no spoilers. I think the decision to stay with the same art direction and the award-winning Emmy team and keep things going in the same field are a really wise idea. I'm curious to see where it will go if they decide to use exteriors with bigger budgets, kind of like The Sopranos.
I wouldn't know because I haven't seen that season yet, but I do know that the art direction is really careful. Like they literally went through 1960 and stripped all of the gems down to the art and the colors that were being used at that time and everything. And I think that the quality, the production quality that they used in the beginning is what made the show in a way, because it gave all these actors this amazingly unique
cinematic
backdrop, and cinematic backdrop to work against, and the clothing and everything was so perfect. The hair and even how the hair goes with the use of the word swell,
That's one of the most beautiful
it's amazing
things about television is that you don't get the feedback that you do in cinema. In cinema, you do make those decisions, but you get immediate feedback. In television, it just becomes part of the way things are done, and Mad Men is just kind of taking it up a notch. And you know what? They're not, they're beyond their own standard in season 3. So that's kind of why I mentioned the interesting choice about set design, because wouldn't you want to take your new fresh budget and show it on some, and for them, they're dulling it down. They're bringing it back to 61 all the time. They're always trying to keep it, it's like the Brady Bunch went out and built a new house. Like, what did it, who knows what's going to happen in today's television. What about the character of Peggy? I mean, the actress who plays Peggy is a total unknown, has gotten no work since Mad Men, is probably going to be Peggy until she dies. But when you get pregnant in episode 2, it's going to be an interesting...
You mean season 2?
Season 2.
I don't know. I don't know about her, and I don't know about her as an actress at all, but I know that her character is kind of phenomenal. When she first arrives, you are making the same judgment that everybody else in the office is about her, which is that she's simple, she's kind of homely, and she's there to, hold Don Draper's hat, basically. And
you didn't think immediately by casting somebody that wasn't that attractive, they were going to go the women's lib?
I didn't know. And I don't know if they've gone the women's lib with her. I think she's a really complex character. The scene where, toward the end, I guess it was the last episode, that she's putting the girl through the ringer. In the recruit, she first of all goes out of her way to pick the prettiest, most sort of like classic beauty, and then she begins to like kind of pick her apart. And that was.
She was acting.
I think she was definitely, sure, she was acting, but I think that, I don't know if it was like a sort of a women's lib statement that they were trying to make, so much as they were trying to talk about the way that, I don't know, maybe you could call it women's lib, but...
That scene is not sad, basically.
Yeah,
there's no catfight, there's no 2 girls in the workforce working out. That is a sad scene. Especially.
There's a sort of a Lady Macbeth quality of her, almost like where she's got power and she can kind of take it out on people.
She has a paycheck.
And it's very much about what advertising is about, and you're part of a system of consumption and competition, and that definitely is what all of those guys are doing, climbing on each other's shoulders.
Sure.
And, at the same time giving each other the slug on the arm, but like, every office party ends up in a fist fight.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fascinating stuff.
It's really important, I think, for the men. Obviously, they're characterized as madmen, so they drink, they smoke, they create, whatever. Mm-hmm. But for the women, I think the way they juxtapose the women in the workplace and the character of Joan,
right.
who is just doing things the way a woman had to do them,
right.
has to run an office, and she really is the showrunner. I mean, she is in every major transaction a part.
In the very beginning, when they bring Peggy in I think first or second episode, Joan takes the cover off of the typewriter and says, "Now, don't be intimidated by the technology." It's this big molded plastic ugly dinosaur, They make these so that women can use, even women can use them. And I thought that was so brilliant because she runs the show. Like, she knows everything about everybody. But, even if she isn't invulnerable, like her whole relationship with Sterling is so, it's so touchingly tragic in a way. When he goes through that brush with death and she's terrified for him and obviously feels this like swelling up, but she also gets to see him for the old man that he is, and she also she backs away. I don't know, it's very interesting.
As a redhead or as a woman?
Yeah, a little of both maybe.
I think the technology
I have to say, she's definitely influenced. I'm like, ooh, mint and brown. That's a good redhead
big
combination.
Buttons. That's
big buttons.
The trope.
And the little bangs. Maybe I'll go for some little bangs.
Coifs.
Coif.
That too.
Okay. Have we talked enough?
I think so. So, Mad Men, AMC.
We're doing ads. We're adding.
That's right.
Mad Men.
That's right. The lowest budget television show on the old movie
They
channel.
so need our help.
Yeah. Watch your Cary Grant, kids.